Hang on.
in an automobile accident in 1938. I left my mother with my brother, myself. My sister died in college, and at the same year, and left my mother with 3 kids. And times were very hard in the 30s. And we didn't have anything at all. We went on welfare, and then a lady gave my brother a job, and he worked, went to school in the morning, and he worked in the afternoon to help my mother support the family. And that's when I decided to go to Maine and what do they call that? In government-sponsored school, where they taught us a trade. And that's where I went and started learning trade.
What did they teach you for a trade?
It's machine shop.
Oh.
That's where I learned to run a machine. And I stayed up there till I went to New Haven and worked in Winchester's. I worked in Winchester's arms on 50 caliber ammunition. Then I went to and I joined the service from there.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. What were some of the big companies that you worked for? Like when you look back, I mean, you mentioned the Arsenal, Watertown Arsenal.
I worked at the Watertown Arsenal. I did a little work at Springfield Armory, and I worked for Winchester's Arms when the war started, during the war. And I enlisted in the service in 1942.
What was it like being on the USS Mason?
Being what?
On the USS Mason.
I loved it. I loved it. I would have stayed in the Navy. I would have stayed in the Navy if they hadn't, if it was not discriminate, if not, you know, they had, you could only stay on certain ships.
Mm-hmm.
You could only be on on certain ships. They wouldn't take I was a second class gunner's mate, and they wouldn't take me on any ship because of the discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
In the Navy. I had 2 cousins who were messmen, and they went down and 2 destroyers. One of them rammed a German sub, and they got the sub, but they also the destroyer sunk. And I loved the Navy. I wish I would have stayed there, but there was discrimination. They didn't. That was before they opened it up to blacks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the life